Not a problem.
Mark here for Wisdom and Knowledge 5, and I bring on Caroline Bergin to discuss, how the world is changing and some other topics. Caroline, I want to start out by you giving a background of who you are and, what you stand for in life.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for inviting me. It's a privilege to be here. So to start off, I will say that deep-hearted human being, always just had a huge heart from a young age, very intimately involved with nature. Nature was always my refuge. Felt solace, felt safe. It was my continuum. Looking forward to each season. And it allowed me to have I depended on it. I depended on nature. I depended on my on every season. I'm a daughter of two immigrants to Canada. My mother's Portuguese and my father's Irish. I have one older sister. I'm 48 years of age. I have a daughter who's 26 years of age, so I'm also a mother. Struggled with family dynamics. I won't get too much into that, but that definitely propelled me into seeking an independent lifestyle. I took off. I was the first one from my family to hit the road and go west and met up with the conscious hippie, traveling gypsy, I don't know, just, wonderful, free spirited people. And I felt like I found home. And that was my first experience with the idea of Big Brother, the idea that we need to cultivate our own communities, that that the world and governments aren't exactly who they say they are. I am very grateful for that experience. I feel like in that time, I was 19 years of age having that experience. And I feel like in that time, there was a moment, and it was almost like Great Spirit or consciousness saying, are you going to join the alliance? And I
Mhm.
almost remember consciously saying, yes, I'm in. And from that day forward, life was never the same. Nothing, I always questioned everything. I always loved seeing that bumper sticker that said question everything. Um, but when you step off the beaten path, the challenges are very difficult. So coming from a traditional family, well, somewhat traditional, I was a vegetarian at a young age. When my daughter was born, I used midwifery. Um, we did not vaccinate her, and this is 1997, 1998. Sorry. So just saying that cultivating this conscious kind of awakened um, lifestyle and living has not been easy. And so it's the likes of people like you who are exposing you know the truth, but also trying to cultivate community because I really believe we have to stick together. I am, for the most part, an optimist, so I like to stay on the sunny side of the street. And, I'm a teacher. I was a Waldorf teacher for a long time, which is an alternative education system. Love the Waldorf education. They're very, you know, heart focused. Rudolf Steiner was somebody who was an esoteric scientist, and he talked about the soul self. So I'm privileged to have walked that path, studied a lot of his works, and in 2010, I think I started my own nature education business, taking children out to the forest, giving them the gift that was given to me when I was a kid, which was the connection with nature, that refuge, that alliance, the ally. Mother Nature is our first teacher, but she's also our first mother. Well, not first mother, but she's our mother, right? She will take care of us, and it's about respecting her and loving her. And we are nature. These like I've grappled with a lot of different theosophies and different religious approaches. And for me, the natural world and natural law is what I gravitate towards. If it's doesn't make sense to the cosmics, to the sun, the moon, the earth, the trees, then I don't sign up for it. So I'm obviously against any sort of foreign poisons in my body. I'm not a purist. I wish I could be. I think it's impossible to be that in this world, but I do resist anything that does not feel safe. Yeah, and resist. I was going to say something else. There is yeah. So you asked a question about what I think about the future. Was that it, or do you want to clarify?
Yeah, well, the how the world is changing. What? Com
Yeah.
yeah, go right ahead.
Thanks, Mark. So again, like 19 years of age to this day and age, I thought at this point we would have been better organized. I thought that the awakened ones, the chosen ones, the misfits artists and all that, I thought that we would have organized ourselves better by this point. I thought there would have been a lot more cooperative banking systems, cooperative collective communities, intentional communities. I mean, I'm even at the point where I'm entertaining the gypsy caravan vibe again, where we just we travel around in packs and just to one expose that this lifestyle that they promised us is not it doesn't work, right? I think too many of us are experiencing homelessness, major financial stresses. As a teacher and somebody who just loves children, um, it's falling on them, the stress financially and all that. Addictions go up, so there's a grim look of that I don't want to say matrix is kind of overused, but it is. It's the
Yeah.
systemic um culture that is not aligned in truth. And it's a very greedy, soul sucking. I do believe that it is meant to take away our primal natural instincts of being a human, which includes taking care of each other, loving each other, being compassionate. What's going on in LA right now. We won't get into the what happened, but now they're looking at, oh, look at how kind everybody is when the shit hits the fan. Well, the people of LA didn't deserve that.
No, yeah.
But it goes to show you who we are at the core.
Hmm.
Most people, in my understanding, are naturally beautiful, wonderful, loving people. We don't want to see each other suffer, but we're being put in these situations, and I just want to say, there's different ways of looking at it. So there's this prevention that we could be getting on board with, which means we have to be ahead of the ball game. We have to be ahead of these things. Okay, so that includes, unfortunately, not feeling secure in what you have. Like using your life to work and make money and buy a house and provide for your family is a loving thing to do. But it's not set up for you to truly fulfill that loving need, like from taxes to, working 40 hours a week plus, taking that time away from family. Like it's we have to start choosing from our heart center. They say Jesus wasn't the savior, he was an epochs evolver. He brought the Christ consciousness. He brought the heart center. He awakened our heart center, or he, they, whatever. It's an energy, it's an essence, it's something that helped us to evolve as humans. And so go back there. We have it, that it is there. How many prophets and seekers and from Mohammed's to Gandhi to Buddha, whoever it is, lead with the heart. So one thing I've noticed is we have to be very mindful of the fear entrapment. Like if we're sitting and trying to cultivate a new world, we have right to cultivate our new world. We are not pawns to this
No.
agenda. We have all the same abilities, all the same contacts. We have to start finding the hombres that have the money, the contacts, whatever, and start working together to start facilitating organizations and things that support um, longevity, sustainability, instead of this like a dead end road. So yeah, I think first and foremost, it comes from the self. We have to realize who we are. We have to understand we have a lot of power. We have a lot of power. That's some people believe that's why, there is so much challenge against that. It's like a toxic relationship with a bad boyfriend. You know what I mean? They don't have the best intentions for us. They don't want to see us evolve. And they're threatened by our power. They're threatened. This universe or earth is been the reason we are not dismantled completely is this human spirit that we have.
Hmm.
And they cannot tap into it. They being who knows, Mark? I mean, I'm a bit of a believer in the reptilian theory. I'm a bit of a believer in like these different dimensional creatures because there was a point that I said, who in their right mind and heart could hurt so bad? The torture, the stealing from the earth. No other animal destroys their habitat. It's about that instinct of survival. It takes care of their home. And so it's been a lot of obviously I think I can say this, but yeah, like analyzing, debriefing in my own self, trying to find the people that I can have conversations with. I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of friends. And you know, yeah, I want this to be a back and forth. I could speak on this. I'm just so grateful that, this is healing for me.
Hmm.
To speak to another human, to be able to share my heart and to share, like, I have such a profound love for this planet, for humanity. This sounds like rah rah, but like, some days I want to give up because it's really hard to see what's going on. But I'm not going to give up.
Hmm.
I'm not going to give up. And so, yeah, I think we have to awaken individually, see our own self, know we have choice, choice, choice. Everything we buy, everything we do is a ripple effect of consciousness, is a ripple effect of energy, and it does make a difference. It's like a prayer. It's like a prayer to humanity. Every time we refuse to buy uh fast food or
Hmm.
you know support a company that has no respect for workers' rights, you
Hmm.
know, our clothing, who and what are we supporting?
Hmm.
It's been said, and it was said in the 90s, I'll say it again, is everything we buy is a vote. It's not just on voting days, it's
No.
every day. Every day we're voting. What kind of world do we want to live in? You want to be raised and surrounded by fast food and dead food? Keep eating that stuff. It's harder on the people that want more organic farms, and I only say organic because they poison the original crops.
Hmm.
I don't think we
Exactly.
had to go into the seed saving and all that until Monsanto was like dun dun dun, and that's why we say organic, and that's why we say, we need policies that protect our food. It goes into our bodies. And we should be scared to a certain degree. Like I know I said fear, don't go into the fear. There's prediction of by 2050, 70%, which seems huge, is going to have cancer of some sort. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, these statistics keep coming out, like keep coming at us, and we're not doing anything about it. I don't know. I was an activist for a long, long time. I hit the streets with my daughter, with the signs, you know. I really believe in the individual power, and if you're in a family, then the family power and stay in your family. Breaking up families is a way to dismantle, divide and conquer. That is part of this unfortunate thing we're up against, your values. Like I come from a divorced family and dysfunction. That doesn't mean I have to lose my values of what family is. I
No.
can cultivate that in my friendships, with my children at school, with my, I'm a single mom, we're a single one daughter family. That's good enough. It doesn't look like, God, I'm dating myself. Leave It to Beaver, but we're now celebrating these unique different family units, and they're beautiful. Love what you have, anyways, I'm gonna pause because my ear's ringing.
No, I yeah,
That's the downloads, Mark. No, just kidding.
no, you're right on point. And one thing I do think is the sad thing is that what I always do when I'm making, because my presence is pretty strong on TikTok, an app that they're looking to ban, is my argument or my cry to humanity is we are the masses. We outnumber them. And it's not focusing on like doom and gloom or these people. It's kind of like being gentle as lambs, so to speak, when reaching out to people and saying, hey, your value, humanity is so powerful that you have the power, you have the numbers, and sure enough, more and more people, can change by that, can wake up to what is going on. And I think some of the things that is encouraging is like people taking a stand against wars and funding wars, and then they're tying two and two together, you know? So things do have the opportunity to change, and that's what we have to be as humans is proactive, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I was a bit jaded, like, because I just, I'm a bit of an idealist, and I do have to, I have to work on myself. I have a trusted astrologer. It sounds funny, but he's not just an astrologer. He's an awake human being that helps guide me because I need that support. And he tells me, like, we're not aiming for utopia. He's like, it's not going to happen, Caroline.
Hmm.
It's the right to exercise who we are. It's the right to be ourselves. So many of us, God bless you, are sellouts. Like I
Hmm.
was a
Yes,
hardcore
thank you.
skater girl, punk rocker, whatever. The biggest code of like that you could go against was to be a sellout. And so many Tony Hawk sell out, brother, you sold out, man. you know and it doesn't matter, right? I don't want to be here doing that. But like these people were my mentors growing up. They were doing something radical that was out of, the status quo. Skaters were dirt bags. We were chased by cops. Tony Hawk, you were one of us. And what
Hmm.
did he do? It became like I can't get behind skateboarding being an Olympic sport and whatever, man. I wanted to stay on the streets. I
Ah,
wanted to be a
yes, okay.
people sport. I
Hmm.
wanted to be a people sport. That community saved me, man. Saved me
Hmm.
from my dysfunctional family. We would meet at the park. Yeah, we would do bad things, but we were together. We found each other. All my friends came from fucked up families. Am I allowed to
Hmm.
swear?
Oh, no, of course. Yeah. Go right
Excuse me.
ahead.
I don't want to swear. It's okay. I heard in Indonesia and Bali, they say, no, it's bad vibes. Don't swear. Okay.
No,
Um,
it's good. You're good. Yeah.
yeah, we came from dysfun. We were misfits.
Hmm.
And we were broken and whatever, but together we were something. Together we were something, and it's not a skater culture wasn't perfect, we all have to look at our um, behaviors and make sure that they're aligned. So, I could speak about many things. Like one thing, is just how vulnerable females are when they don't have a safe home, and they do join these little posses, and so my whole thing, there's so many things I would love to do. I think at this point I'm really calling on like on having community, on
Hmm.
having the right people to work with. We need people that have money to build safe houses for young girls that can't be at home. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like that's one thing. You could also go as far as like with my nature education background, I would love to have farms, safe house farms or safe house communities where we're growing our own and we're teaching these young people how to maintain their integrity, maintain their authenticity, how to feed themselves, how to collect water and clean water. Like you know, it's not about going back to the basics and primitive skills and whatever, right? It's
Hmm.
resiliency. It's interdependence, like have to trust that you and I think we started getting together, or like I started to notice you with the whole chemtrail thing.
Hmm.
Okay, so I've been out of Canada for almost 4 years. I came back and I cannot believe what's going on here, especially in southwestern Ontario where I am, which in my understanding is it's sleepy but progressive. Like people
Hmm.
make money here, but they're all about the conveniences. They're stuck in their ego. So what's happening is they're spraying the shit out of these people because nobody's noticing and nobody cares,
Hmm.
and these heavy metals are they're falling on our lands, they're falling in the soil, so I know I'm all over the place. I'm just really, on one hand excited and maybe a little bit ADHD, which I'm learning to work with, but I have to be careful that I'm not trying to save humanity or save the earth.
Hmm.
I am an individual that is, cultivating the right for me to live the way I want to live as my birthright, which includes clean water, not being poisoned,
Hmm.
not being lied to. Um, my food source needs to be healthy.
Yes. Hmm.
My daughter is out age, like she's not a school age anymore, but parents need to really look at the education system. It's indoctrinated to keep us stupid,
Yeah.
like
Thank you.
literally
Hmm.
stupid. And I'm not saying I'm a proud teacher. I'm there as a energetic, fairy godmother to just, reflect to them we're going to be okay. And it's who you are genuinely that is going to make
Hmm.
the magic of this world continue. So I'm there for them, with them. I'm standing like, they through COVID, they were like, oh, the frontline work. We're spiritual frontline workers here,
There you
man.
go. I like that.
We are
Hmm.
holding, we are holding the line, and we can't. There's no going back to sleep. So just anybody that's listening, once you're awakened, you can become more awakened, but you can't go back to sleep, which
No.
means a lot of the things that you thought worked for you won't work for you anymore,
No,
and
exactly.
you've got
Thank
to
you.
be okay with that.
Hmm.
What do
Yeah,
you
and
think?
as far as like the chemtrails, they're hitting us here in the States too, like crazy. Arizona, where I used to live, here in Wilmington, North Carolina, and here they won't do it every day because they have to take some days off to clean the jet or whatever, you know. But it's just like, especially here where there's like the beach, the harborfront nature, it's like I just don't get why more people wouldn't wake up to this that's going on, when it comes to things like that. But even things like food, why would you wanna, we're living in a society, at least where I am, where there's like fast food on every corner, and it's like we were not designed to live in that type of world, and we as individuals can, choose to ignore that too, like you and I are doing.
Well, fast food and booze, man. Like
No,
fast
that
food
too. Yeah, of
and booze,
course.
like
Hmm.
I'm like 11 years alcohol free, whether I was alcoholic or not is not the thing. I am so glad I don't drink that substance shit anymore. Like you
Hmm.
want to talk about a substance dumbing us down, that is poison, man.
Hmm.
You look at war, you look at history, what did they offer to, um, oppress the people? Booze, man, booze and weapons. They look at it, you can look at it from any way, chemically, so the vibe of alcohol will suppress every good thing in you. It destroys your organs. It like affects your pineal gland. It like, you might like you're no different than the bros on the street. If you're
Hmm.
sitting in your nice home drinking booze, you're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? I don't care. I have a father who has money. He's very proud of his accomplishments. He can't stop drinking. God bless him that I'm talking about it. And he's depressed, man. He's not fulfilled. He's not
Hmm.
happy, and I'm not calling him out like, oh, you're a bad human being. Some of us, we get to that place where addictions, and this is a part of waking up. You got to start to understand these substances don't work. The
Hmm.
pain,
Yeah.
the pain that you are running from is is at the end of the day easier to face than a slow death of addiction, man.
Hmm.
No, and I'll be the first to say, man, the pain is pain. So, it's not easy, but we can face it, we can heal, we can overcome, we can make better choices, we can come back and be heart-centered and vibe. We're energy, so we have to clear it, and choosing things. I'm not perfect, man. I smoke American Spirit tobacco sometimes, and more than sometimes.
Hmm.
I'm still holding on to old self things, and
Hmm.
but through these kind of conversations, staying in alignment, calling out my bullshit, you know, systematically, I start to shift. Like
Hmm.
and I have to allow it to happen, right? Like you got to walk your talk, action, action, action. I've been a part of this movement for a long time, and it really hurt my feelings when I was younger, when I got pregnant and we were all one family and whatever. And then I got pregnant at 21, 22 years of age, and everybody ran for the hills because it was
Hmm.
too real. It was too real. Whoa,
Hmm.
shit, responsibility. What's she doing? And by the grace of my higher powers and my spirit guides and my family and my own inner strength, I believe I'm an old soul that has strength that is hasn't even been tapped. So watch out, world. I'm
Hmm.
just kidding. But you have to do what you have to do, and I raised a conscious kid. When
Hmm.
COVID happened, it's not me. Like, we have to do hard things, and
Yeah.
we can. We, when COVID happened, she was living on the other coast, and without conversation, she calls me. She says, "Mom, I'm not doing it." I said, "Okay." Like this is what happens. We are
Hmm.
ripple effect. She knew without a doubt
Yeah.
at 20 years of age, man.
Hmm.
She knew without a doubt that this shit was not to be trusted. You
Exactly.
know, and I think we all wanted to trust, but there was no proof, no research, no nothing. Just
No.
immediately stick this in you, and I was like, I don't think so, man.
Hmm. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And I think all of us went through, at least the ones standing up, went through our own, circumstances, situations. And I myself was brought together with, people when I was in Arizona, people who just a core like group of like 4 or 5 people that really understood it. And we actually went out and we did our own website, and it was up for a few years to be proactive to say, hey, look, this is, not what they're telling you, and exposing the truth. And I think that's, you know, uh, just what we're called to do. Now, one thing I want to ask you, because it seems like we're on the same level, is like me, I don't resonate myself as, oh, USA, I'm an American. I resonate as, I'm a humanitarian. I don't play into these games of, oh, this flag, that flag, if you know what I mean.
Same, man, same. And I feel for you, brother. We're on this, it is for me too.
Hmm.
Like my parents came from Europe, which isn't that unique in Canada, in North America. Um, I felt displaced for a long time. I don't know if that's the right word. I didn't have roots, I didn't feel like
Hmm.
I did. My mom was super insecure. She had an accent. She wanted to assimilate. And now that I'm older, I just take little parts like I love Portuguese food,
Hmm.
So I just take what I want from, I love all the flags. I love all the food. I love all the
Hmm.
dancing, and we are like we should be creating a humanitarian flag. We don't need flags, but I said that to my sister once,
Oh
and
yeah.
I got in big trouble at school once because I questioned the rainbow flag. I just said, "Oh, it would be so nice if the earth had a flag, or all
Oh
these, like,
yes. Hmm.
we're not all represented here. And, no disrespect to any of that.
And
I
not
just,
the, United Nations flag or the Olympic rings flag, something
yeah. And so
completely
you look
different.
at it, it's all propaganda. It's
Hmm.
all propaganda bullshit. One thing about, Waldorf education, this is interesting, is they don't allow any logos on the kids.
Mm.
No Nikes,
Okay.
no Stitch, no SpongeBob's, no nothing. And something people think Waldorf education is like a cult or whatever. I mean, humans will never be satisfied. Like, it, there'll always be, the naysayers and whatever. But if you look at it from a place of not supporting, like that, what we're supporting is the essence of being human. And
Hmm.
with that, we don't need like anything. We don't
No.
need anything,
Mhm.
because we could make up our own humanitarian flag and then it would be, years of using energy of answering why did we choose that color and why did we this
Hmm.
and like so I think that's another important point is like just where we put our energy. Like, I think these conversations are really good. Maybe we'll wake up or like, create some sort of like, ripple effect. Somebody told me once we don't want to wake everybody up, that I can't remember exactly what his point was, but there was something in it that was like, almost like the contrast was what actually made us more powerful. I don't know if
Hmm.
that's right, but it was not the point. It's like, that's not what we're going for. Is like we're trying to stand in a collective consciousness in our true essence, and it's like Braveheart. The one favorite part of the movie is they can kill us but they can't take our freedom.
Yeah.
We are free governing in like spiritual beings.
Hmm.
You can't fuck with that, and
No.
they fucking know it.
Yeah.
So all we have to do is stay in that essence,
Hmm.
and even the COVID thing, you know I didn't almost say a word. I didn't almost say a word. Like I didn't because of my experience with being a big mouth, getting into arguments, constantly stirring the pot, constantly causing discord, which in that time of my life was what my age was appropriate. Now that I'm older and a bit wiser, I realize again it's in the essence, right? It's in our thinking, it's in our being. But I didn't get all like aggro. I cleaned up a lot of friends. I cleaned up a lot of friends.
Sure.
Anybody that put, including Lady Gaga, including anybody that put any sort of recommendation to get the vaccine, like
Yeah.
use their platform and use
Hmm.
their power to influence and manipulate and brainwash people, you were out. You were out, man.
Sure.
From me, I don't know. Pink yesterday, God bless her. And the only reason why I bring these people up is
Hmm.
their main stage. They've got a lot of a huge audience.
Sure.
She put a guy on that was disregarding the questionable fires in LA, saying, "Oh, does the right wing want to is it conspiracy? Not everything's conspiracy. Yes, it is, man. Everything is
Hmm.
questionable. These motherfuckers don't care. They're soulless, potentially soulless creatures
Hmm.
that don't care.
Exactly.
They don't care about you and I.
No.
So we have to care about ourselves first. Don't put the oxygen mask on anybody else before yourself because you're useless. You know, um, and so use first, and then collectively we stick together, you know. Um, and I'll just say, we cannot undervalue the collective consciousness energy. Those forums that they do, like, where they do worldwide prayer, you
Yeah.
know, like those I think are I think they're useful. I think they are good. I think I'm a vibe person, man. I'm constantly trying to just put out good vibes, and helping people. It's a huge thing for me.
Yes.
They say, just to bring in, like, they say Buddha, okay, so Siddhartha, enlightenment, and the Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva is an enlightened being who comes back to samsara to save and enlighten the rest. Like, come on, man. Like, this is high virtue, not about martyrdom and self-sacrifice. It's our enlightenment is so powerful that we can come back to help each other, and it's not going to fracture anything. We don't lose. I don't think I'll lose any of my, you know, stripes or whatever. So for me, it's like I have nothing to lose. I don't want to get in trouble to the point where I'm in jail and whatever. Like, I've questioned that.
No. Hmm.
I wouldn't do well there, man. Even according to my astrologer, he's like, administrations, bureaucracy, rules, unnecessary, stupid rules really fuck me up.
Hmm.
And I can get in trouble. I've been in trouble with school a few times over that rainbow flag comment. So I have to be careful.
Hmm.
But I'm cheerleading and doing my work, like, not necessarily quiet. I'm not quiet today. Um, but don't underestimate the work that people are doing, even if we don't see them,
Hmm.
And I respect what you're doing. I think it's courageous. I don't know if like, there's a lot of people coming out of the woodworks exposing. The thing is we're exposing these people
Yes.
on their platforms.
Exactly.
We
Hmm.
shouldn't be doing that. So I understand TikTok's getting banned. It's a bunch of, I think that's just bullshit. Like, it goes against your
Oh
constitution.
yeah.
I mean, you guys should be fucking rallying together and civil lawsuits and just like, that's the thing, is you got to fight, man. You got to fight.
Exactly. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. There's a book out. I think it's by David Robinson, like Unrebuted Affidavits Stand as Truth. And he just won court case after court case after court case. You know what I mean? For using the law. I mean,
Use the
I've done it
law.
before to, stand against, things. It works.
It really does. It really does. And I mean, we're looking at stuff now with not Ozempic, but Oxycontin.
Hmm.
And so some big farmers are getting slammed. I mean, that's, if you want to look at it from a grassroots perspective, is that's the way to slowly is change policy, change policy. The unfortunate thing is this guy, Trump, he should scare the shit out of everybody, okay?
Hmm.
He's a guy that's misusing the law for his own benefit,
Yeah,
100%. There
exactly.
may be
Thank
a
you.
few, he might be giving out a
Hmm.
few freaking dog snacks, but in the real scheme of things, this guy is protecting his own empire.
Exactly. Oh
Like,
yeah.
and he's picking and choosing people. And politicians like that, I don't know how the F he even got in. I don't know about you, but I thought government meant something different.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm with you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not about not liking him and him versus this. Like, let's get out of the duality, guys. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that is such a low vibe, like intellectual place to approach things. It's, I even tell my kids, they say Messi or a Ronaldo, Miss Bergin,
Oh
and I'm
yeah, I know
and
exactly
I'm
what you
like,
mean.
guys, what about all the other players?
Yeah, I'm a
You
big
know?
soccer guy myself, so I, fan myself for European soccer, and I know exactly what you mean. I don't even think about the two of those.
So breaking those molds, we should, like, I don't know, like Buddhism is not perfect. Nothing's perfect. They're all just systems in place, and it's our time to, cultivate our own systems. The other day I had a challenging day, and I went to school, and this, I work. Canada's not that different than the US. It's in the last 10 years or so. It's you know, our healthcare system is saturated to shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, anybody that wants a psychiatrist, even a skin dermatologist, 2-year waiting list. Okay. And so
I've
this is
heard about
how,
that, huh?
so the other day, this, I'm not inner city kids, but we have rough schools, and this little girl said something not nice to me, and I'm so sensitive, and I tell them I'm a sensitive creature, guys. You got to be nice to me too. I'm human. And
Mm-hmm.
she said something not nice to me, and I said, "You can't be here." I says, "You've just kind of messed up the learning environment." I said, "If you don't like me, go hang out somewhere else. I'm here for the rest of the afternoon. I'm a supply teacher, so
Mm-hmm.
you know, long story short, this little girl came back and she looked me right in the eye and she said, I'm sorry.
Mm.
I held her hand, and in that moment, together we were cultivating peace because I
Sure.
said sorry too, because my reaction to her wasn't perfect. And so, and I felt it. I felt it. I felt like we were creating the peace and love and community that we want together, one little thing at a time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So those small little gestures and those small little things, they are what makes the whole better, from the parts to the whole. Anyways, I want to be an educational consultant. I want to help people choose more conscious education and to start creating better curriculums. I want to be a life coach for young people. These are my kind of aspirations moving forward. I want to keep having conversations like this. I do think they're powerful through this, just this. I know we're out of time. This time I've had shivers 2, 3
Mm-hmm.
times. My ears rang. Something moves through us when we
Yeah.
open space to speak the truth. It's not me, it's my connection to love.
Mm-hmm.
It's my connection to the greater, the greater whatever it is. I don't want to sound like it doesn't mean something, but it's to me, it's love. To me, it's
Mm-hmm.
love. It's an energy of collective consciousness, which we have no idea what's about. Nobody knows that. They
Yeah.
say we're operating on a 10% brain capacity. So give me a break. They don't know, or we don't know, but we can feel it. They say the future is in our senses, in our sensory awareness. They say
Mm-hmm.
the future is in our feeling. Okay, that is our superpower, how
Mm-hmm.
we feel. When we feel uncomfortable, when we feel agitated, whatever, we have to start making choices that they say hang around people that make your nervous system calm. There's a lot of truth to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Artistic expression is the future. Don't underestimate who you are. Your voice, your creative outlets of from painting to drama to dance to singing, whatever it is. Tap into that. Share with the world. There is energy connected to that because it's connected to your heart and it's connected to authenticity. Authenticity, who we
Mm-hmm.
really are. We don't have to be anybody else. We just have to be ourselves and high five each other on the way when we see each other acting in their authenticity,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and being supportive. And the um the internet, if we're supporting meta and whatever, I mean, I think it's just like a hating ground. It's just a
Oh, it
negative,
is.
messy
Mm-hmm.
hating ground.
And then it's all games too, like them saying, okay, it's no longer we're no longer fact checking, we're no longer censoring. That is the complete nonsense. After he said that, it gets so censored, it's ridiculous. Or just hide your stuff. It's like stop it. And all these people, the Zuckerbergs, even the TikTok CEO, all these people hanging out with Trump, hanging out with the supreme leaders. What got me too is the CEO of TikTok, he was doing a video on World Health Day with Tedros, and I'm like, no, that's when the red flag flew up for me. I'm not hating on the guy. I love humanity, and I'm glad that, but it's just like it's an eye opener, if you know what I mean.
100%. And so, like, I know for me, I started to, again, it's convenience is a killer, man. Like, we all
Hmm.
want convenience. Who wants to download the app that not everybody's using? But we got to start supporting the small guy again, the
Hmm.
alternative
Thank you.
choice. It's all about switching to the alternative. If we're going to stay in the meta world and whatever, we might as well hand ourselves over right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
okay, take me. Um, take me to your leader. No, just kidding. And it is that we shouldn't be afraid of outside things coming in. The motherfuckers are here, man.
Hmm.
They're
Yes, thank
here.
you.
Okay? And that is that. Like, we have to start making better choices, supporting authentic, like just supporting the right people. Give the
Hmm.
right people your money. Look at what happened with COVID, man. They're all the little guys all got like
Screwed, hosed, yeah.
I was in Michigan last weekend. What a sight for sore eyes,
Oh
man. Like
yeah, I'm from Michigan. Okay, where were you at?
I was in Port Huron,
Oh
so
yeah, I know Port Huron. I was on the other side of the state, but I've been to Port Huron. Hmm.
yeah, and like it's just like it's devastating. Like
Hmm.
empty stores and from street after street, like just lease signs. Like it's devastating, And here you got your stupid Trump guy. Excuse me.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, please,
He's
thank you.
not saving. He's not saving people's businesses. He's not
No,
helping
not
the
at all. It's
people.
all, yeah.
Amazon destroyed commerce for people.
Hmm.
They sold us this idea of the American dream and then ripped it out from us. My heart goes out to people who had a dream and then
Hmm.
it all went to shit in COVID.
Yeah.
Billionaires were born every single day, and it wasn't you and I, man. It wasn't you and
No,
I.
not at all. Hmm.
It was the big dogs, Microsoft, Uber Eats, Meta, and all of
Apple,
them,
yeah.
they're all owned by the same people.
Exactly. Yep. BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street,
Even
Designers, you name
even
it.
these Ashton Kutchers and shit, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. Hmm.
Not they got in on it. Like I heard they have stocks in Uber or whatever, right? All
Sure.
I'm saying is like we're supporting the wrong people and we have to just think for ourselves, take a step back and give back to the mom pop
Hmm.
businesses. You want an apple pie, go ask your grandma's friend, she'll make it for you. Give
There
her the
you
20
go.
bucks.
Hmm.
Like we have to change, man. And yeah, we're in this together.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. And one idea that I had that I set up, and if it works, it works. If not, it doesn't. Is I set up because with TikTok allegedly going away, or it might not because Trump will come in and save the day. But yeah, right. But I set up a Patreon where I was offering like $10. If you subscribe for $10 a month, you can get a 30-minute Zoom call where you can just talk about what's going on in the world, be proactive, inspiration, you name it. And at least it's up there as an option for somebody.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that, I hear you. It's just everybody, like, I want to start a Patreon. I need more money too. I don't need more money. I'm
Yeah,
actually doing okay. Like, I have
exactly.
to
Same.
accept
Yeah.
that. I have to accept that. If I spend my energy on making more, 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 I'm no better than those guys.
Mhm.
Um,
For
I'll
me,
tell
it was
you,
just like how to get around the censorship because Patreon didn't censor. But you know what's so funny is when I first set up the Patreon, they took it down right away. They said it was dismantled. And then I just set it up with another email and it went through no problem. It made no sense, So like
What about
who owns
forums like,
Patreon?
yeah, that's all. I think it's all like linked.
Exactly.
Like, what was I on the other day? And I was like, holy shit, this is owned by them too. Zoom. Zoom is,
Oh yes, I'm sure.
and the only reason why I say that is like Google, because if you can get in through your Google account, it's all linked,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good point.
Um, yeah. So Signal, I know that they were one, Telegram. Now, if we can support those guys into then
Hmm.
branching out into a bigger platform that then creates, these kind of platforms, um, that would be amazing. It's getting people to switch over. I mean, I know a lot of great people that are already switched over, like I went down to Guatemala and I can't remember it's like the underground Facebook.
Hmm.
And um I went on there and I met up with some people and they were trying to start like basically their own town
Oh
in
wow. Hmm.
in Nicaragua, and they were going to do it, I think, only through cryptocurrency. The schooling system was going to be all like governed through the community.
Hmm.
Waldorf is based in that as well, by the way, which that's why I love it. It's self-governing. It's
Hmm.
not governed by the government. Nobody tells,
Nice.
yeah,
Hmm.
man, like, it's back to the roots of I don't want to say, see, I'm scared to say anarchy. Like, I'm scared to say those things and just scared to say self-governing because I shouldn't say scared. Like, I don't think
Hmm.
anybody's coming to get me. It's just like, you know, they're big bad words. Maybe we should say them more. Anarchy.
There you go. Hmm.
But yeah, I think there's lots of ways to do it. It's just like you seem like a smart guy, you seem tapped in. It's just finding the platforms that are being supported by the people that support you.
Thank you.
Like moving the money through good like you and the other people, where that it's going to generate more good or
Hmm.
more conscious, real, truthful things, right? Like I think
Yeah.
we're all a little tired of the bullshit. Like if you're watching news, my dad loves to watch the news. I'm living with him right now, saving money
Hmm.
because like yeah, it's the economy here is just insane. Like you paid $2,000 for like a
Oh
shoebox.
yeah, I know. All over Canada. It's not
I
just
know
yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Hmm.
I was living in Guatemala and it was great, but within a few years of even living there, the inflation hit, and that's why now I'm thinking of being like mobile home again and whatever. Like I don't want to buy into this bullshit. Like the overhead
Hmm.
is not worth it for me. And my freedom's a lot to me. So when you have a house and all the things and the car and the mortgage and the dog, you can't just pick up and go live somewhere for 6 months.
No.
Like,
No.
so I want to be fancy and free, man. I don't want to have things tying me down. Like, yeah. Um, Anyways, I'm all over the place, but you hear what I'm saying.
I get exactly what you're saying, and we need more people like you being proactive, in this changing world that we live in. That's what we need is proactivity in the right way, not doom and gloom. You need solutions based.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm very I'm humbled and honored for my path. It hasn't been easy.
Hmm.
Addox Huxley and Kerouac. No, it wasn't Kerouac, but those crew. I mean, they actually came up with the idea of like how do we awaken people? It was LSD. So they wanted to put LSD in the water, and I don't think that's a good idea. And they
No.
eventually was just like it's not a good idea, but. I will say psychedelics has helped me, in both ways. I don't know if you've played with psychedelics. Like it's not my thing anymore, but it was, and it really did like um you can't control what's going to come through your mind, you
Hmm.
can't control what you see. And I think for me, I had to face, the worst case scenarios. I had to face the doom and gloom and all of that. And then what came from that? I mean, Carl Jung says it. We have to put light on the unconscious. They
Hmm.
say day was birthed from night. So don't be afraid of the darkness. Like they
Yeah.
say right now is darkness. What can come from it is
Hmm.
magic, man.
Oh yeah.
We yeah, like the dawning, the dawning of a new day. And with between this conversation and just all the different vibes I'm feeling, I feel re-energized. Like I think that we are creating a beautiful tomorrow, and it is through dismantling the bullshit and the lies and what no longer serves for
Thank
us,
you.
reclaiming what does.
Hmm.
Um, I know for you, my love and compassion for humanity has just grown immensely.
Yeah.
I even have love and compassion for Mr. Trump. Like they say some spiritual people, they pray for him. They pray for him. They send him blessings. The stupid chemtrail freaking pilots. I used to be like, yo, brother, like free. Like I was so angry because
Hmm.
I love the sun and I love the blue skies. We have not seen the sun here in months, brother. Like
Yeah, you
it,
were saying that.
it is like I could show you outside again right now. It's just yesterday it was blue and just lines, lines,
Hmm.
lines, lines. Like by 3 p.m., all covered
Oh
in
yeah.
those like it looks like oil around clouds, like these
Hmm.
weird, all perfectly the same, like I don't know what they are. And if anybody messages me and tells me that that's what the clouds are called, don't do it, man. I'm so tired of people lying to me or trying to gaslight me. Like, I'm 48 years of age and coming up to 50. Like, at this point in my life, you're not changing me. I'm not going to all of a sudden be convinced that this is natural and normal. Like, it's not going to happen, man.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, it's sad, and I'm in it. I'm in it. I could run away. I could go and find sun, but I'm staying in it. I'm soldiering up, soldiering up, and I'm staying aligned. And people like you are important to me because you support what I see. I've got a few other friends like on there. They just said we're in this together, and we are helping each other, get through it because it's sad and it's lonely and it's scary. Like it feels like an attack on humanity, which it is.
Hmm.
you know um so the doom and gloom is there, but it's then what can I do next,
Yeah.
and yeah, today I'm gonna go to the health food store. I'm gonna get some sauerkraut. My dad he's not well. He's been battling cancer for a long time, and I'm gonna try to give him what he can. Like, and today it was so funny. He said, I don't like organic. And I was like, what
Mm.
the, like, come on, bro.
Wow.
Like,
Hmm.
that's how brainwashed they are,
Oh
like,
yeah.
and when I was buying organic, my mom like was like, organic, like that's not a thing and whatever. And now she's like, is it organic? And I was like,
There you
wow,
go.
man. Yeah, so it does, like, stick with this what we're doing in 10 years.
Hmm.
We'll be like, holy shit, man. Who knows? Let's keep this and see where we go back goes.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah. Hmm.
What do you have
Well,
planned for the rest of the day?
I actually have to work later today, but uh this was, a lot of fun. It was a great conversation and the world needs more people like us. I really appreciate it, Caroline.
Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it too. It's lots of
Yeah.
fun. I
Hmm.
hijacked I hijacked the interview a wee bit, but you're amazing. I really appreciate the space you gave me, man.
No, it's so great to connect with others who are proactive and get what's going on in the world. So thank you, very much, Caroline. This was a joy.